Hi.
Hi.
This episode is actually thematically relevant. Do you remember? Not thematically relevant, but it's like the two that we're talking about are actually like connected in ways. Do you guys remember the 90s?
Hey, do you remember 90?
Do you remember 1991 to 2002, 2001? When did Zim get canceled?
Invader Zim premiered in 2001, and I think there was like some shit floating around in 2000 or something. Maybe the pilot came out in 99. I don't remember.
But we're talking about Rocko's Modern Life,
Static Cling,
and Invader Zim. Enter the Florpus.
Enter the Florpus.
Is it duh or is it the?
It's the Florpus. I just said duh because it's cute random humor. XD wacky funny.
Y'all, random humor is back and it's better than ever.
It's kind of the two sort of like, there's like lawful random and chaotic random, which are like Rocko and Zim.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're right.
So
it's like gross out random.
Yeah.
Original Rocko was kind of like what if Ren and Stimpy was not made by like
a pervert,
an actual piece of shit.
Yeah, yeah, and so Rocko's Modern Life, Static Cling. I'll tell you right now what I thought of it. It was alright.
Yeah, no, I mean, we talked a little bit about it before we recorded, and I basically said like I liked the stuff with Rachel. I wish
it was cute.
I wish everything else written around it was written.
Yeah, so I'm curious about what you think. Like, why do you think it's underwritten?
So, my boyfriend told me about it because he watched it before I did. He was like, yeah, it's really obvious that, like, the first 20 minutes of it are, like, what they pitched it to Netflix as. Mm-hmm. So it's just, you know, Netflix greenlit Big Mouth for 3 new seasons. So they had to, it's just lowest of the low ball effort comedy, like, heifer, just like... Dirty. I got an iPhone 7. I got the iPhone 8. Yeah. Guys, the iPhone 10 just came out. We gotta get it.
Rocko, get iPad.
Selfies. I'm on YouTube. My dog's addicted to using the internet. It's bad for you. Technology changes in 20 years.
Yeah.
30 years. 30 years.
30 years.
Well, I guess it's 20 years is what they say in the show.
Well...
Starbucks are on every corner. What's the deal?
Mocha Frappuccino.
What's the deal with what are some of the? It's really low effort jokes in this.
Yeah, I don't even. I blanked out.
What if your car had a battery in it?
Tesla.
Stock markets. The recession. But. Yeah, that shit sucked, bro.
Yeah, not very good.
And then
I never liked Rocko as a kid.
That's the problem. Is I feel like I loved Rocko as a kid, but I have not watched it in a very long time. Mm-hmm. So it could be something where it's just like, oh, this is just what the show always was.
Right.
The show was never that good. You just liked it because it was a cartoon.
Yeah.
But. I don't know.
Yeah, it was always halfway there for me. I would like watch it if it was on.
It was also weird because I think I also saw a lot of the cute fan art of Rachel and Rocko.
Yeah.
And man, is that better than the actual episode? It's this cool phenomenon lately of fandom media where it's like people just make fan art that's better than the actual source material. Yeah. You see it with the new Godzilla.
You see it with every fucking single goddamn project that the Avatar people make.
Oh god, the only thing you can think of with the fan art and the actual product are on the same level is like Spider-Verse.
Yeah,
the fan art's kind of just, you know, cutesy, playing along with that. But yeah, no, it's I don't know. I was underwhelmed. I do not want to like poo-poo on people who are like, whoa, a trans cartoon character?
Yeah.
I've never seen or done that before. But also, like, you know, you have the internet. Trans people you could watch cartoons made by trans people who are out.
Yeah, I mean, like, it was sweet. I thought it was decently executed.
It made me. There's a thing where people say, like, oh, it makes me excited that, like, kids stuff has this. And it's like, yeah. But I guess it's also something where it's like, to me, it's not new that kids stuff has this. I know Steven Universe is very overtalked, but it's like, Steven Universe addresses stuff like this in it.
Yeah.
Maybe not as explicitly, and so that was kind of cool. But it's also like, Netflix, and they also have Big Mouth.
and not Tuca and Birdie season 2.
And not Tuca and Birdie season 2. So really, I think we're getting played. It's like, cool, they got that. How many stuff do they have made by actual trans people? Sense8. Sorry, actual trans people who aren't fucking billionaires.
Yeah.
Literally, let the horse die.
Let the horse die.
I'm one of the few people who still will say that I liked BoJack Horseman seasons 1.
I watched it because it was the Lisa Hannah show, and now that they've canceled Tuca and Birdie, I can't go back.
It's also something where it's like, the problem with it is that it's the Lisa Hannah show, but it's definitely a show that you can tell she made not expecting them to keep renewing it.
Mm-hmm.
Because the show's format does not work when you have to continuously either not have your character change or have him undo any of his growth or have him change for the worse. And you can't really go that far before you're just like, wow, this guy just sucks, doesn't he? This guy sucks, and I just don't want to. I don't care. I don't care that he sucks anymore.
Yeah.
I will say I did like. I will say this. I think people aren't giving it too much credit in the sense that the way the show handled it and wrote it is bad. But it's like, I see people being like, this is how you handle comedy around trans characters. And I'm like, that's not funny, though, is the joke.
It's not, there's no
the joke where there's no joke there. The joke is just, she goes, I'm trans. And they go, awesome, that's so cool. Which, one, if anybody ever responded to me like that, I would leave. I would leave immediately.
Wow, that's so great and cool.
That's so dope. So you got both?
So you're like one of those?
Yeah. Oh, that's so...
Oh, you're like that.
That's so woke. Oh. Rocko says that. Rocko says, that's so woke. No, but then, like, the joke they have is the sort of like, Roger, I thought your name was Rachel. Which is like... not a bad joke. It's just not a funny joke. It's just not a funny joke.
It's not really a joke. You thought wrong, and I will correct you now.
Yeah. It's a very much like, that is a joke that they would make on a 90s cartoon.
Yeah.
Which it is now 2019. And if your whole point of this is that things change, you gotta write better than that. I have an extremely galaxy brain to take on this show.
Okay.
I think, given the collapse of the corporate scene and the characters saying stuff like, hey, it's all of our surplus labor that was stolen from us, the redundancies of capitalism have collapsed, and the other themes that are in it, my Marxist reading of Rocko's Modern Life Static Fleeing is that a big sort of way in which they are implementing and folding in the trans narrative to the larger narrative is that Ed Bighead represents the sort of ways in which working class, which is weird because he's not working class, but they kind of make they kind of retroactively make him working class, which is really weird. Yeah, because he was always he's like a middle manager on the show, but they're just like, no, he's like a worker. No.
He's the proletariat.
He's the proletariat now, but it's like, whatever. Okay. So, like, they have that, and it's like, it represents the way in which all these things in his life are going horribly wrong because of a system much larger than himself, and then he is offered all of this change, the recession, the economies of your small towns that you live in are being destroyed. Your jobs are being destroyed and your bosses are making off with billions of dollars that they're not going to give to you to help this. All of this is collapsing around you and you don't feel like you can change it. But there is some change you can control, which is how you respond to your trans child. And so I think the Marxist read I have of this show is that it's a critique of how transphobia and queerphobia in 2019 is being sold by conservative elites to people as a way of like, hey, don't pay attention to all the shit we're doing to fuck you over.
Yeah.
Pay attention to this other stuff that's changing.
Yeah.
And that becomes a symbol of the change that we're telling you. Can't do it. You know, the economy, you can't do anything about the recession. Mm-hmm. But you can do something about Rachel. And that's my Marxist read of it. Is I
like that.
I kind of like the idea that the show doesn't just talk about, you know, transphobia in a vacuum. They very heavily set up that it is a response to but Ed's reason for rejecting Rachel is essentially that too much in his life has changed and he doesn't know how to cope with it. And the message that the show gives is like, this is the one thing that like you should accept. It's everything else that you shouldn't be accepting.
Right.
And that, I think, is actually a very sweet message. And that's something I like about the show. And I wish more people talked about that element of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do kind of position her, like, originally the conflict being very sort of, like, I think people kind of have a lot of, like, sort of class anxiety or, like, backsliding anxiety. And that's why there's kind of all of these, like, people adopting sort of social, like isms or you know whatsoever, like to kind of preserve their place, and you kind of see the awkwardness of that happening with Mr. Big Head in this children's cartoon.
Yeah, I hate that we've just gone full bread tube and are now doing Marxist readings of cartoons, but it's like when I watched that I was just like, huh. Mm-hmm. That's like really interesting that like that just seems like oh, the anxieties that this deals with are economic and social anxieties.
Yeah. And
the show makes the point that social anxieties are parts of change in life that you need to accept. Mm-hmm. Economic anxieties are things you can change.
Yeah.
With proletariat action.
Exactly. So toss a Molotov through that window tonight, baby.
With your trans daughter. Rachel's design is really cute. Yeah, I like her design. It's really good.
Yeah. We stand. We love Rachel.
I also love I actually, there was one joke around transness that I did that thought was cute, which was Mrs. Big Head trying to be like, we should like, no, like I think it's great what Rachel's doing. And I found these shoes in her size that are cute. I thought that was a really good bit where it's just like her first reason is like, she's our daughter and we love her. And her second reason is like, and I bought her these shoes. Cause like, that's like well-written character humor. Cause it's like, yeah, that's what that character is like. Cause she's very much just like, oh, I found something that I bought for her. So we have to accept her because I want to give it to her.
God. Fucking great. But yeah, it's all right.
It's all right. It's what, 40 minutes?
Something like that.
It's short. You could watch it like while you're cooking or like, I don't know, if you go to the gym, you can watch it on your iPhone.
Yeah.
Watch it on your fucking phone.
On the telephone.
I'm tired of these people who sit down and watch Rocko's Modern Life Static Cling and think they've actually understood the Marxist themes in it when they watched it on their fucking phone.
Telephone. We love that.
David Lynch yelling about phones is never gonna not be funny to me.
It's permanently funny.
So yeah, that's probably all that can be said about Static Cling. What would you have rather spent your Netflix subscription money on? Which is now $12.
Jesus, a fucking yacht, Netflix. What's up with the prices, you crazy assholes?
$12, I could buy a movie. For $12, I could buy one movie I actually want to watch instead of 500 I don't.
500 channels and nothing on the goddamn tube.
Isn't it weird how it used to be 500 channels and nothing on the damn tube, and now it's 500 streaming services and none of them have anything good?
And I have to watch a fucking Edward Yang movie on YouTube.
and I still have to and I have to relearn how to pirate things.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I do hate the like, oh, I want to watch this movie. All right, let me see. Is it on Netflix? No. Hulu? No. Canopy? No. Hoopla? No. Crackle? No. Torrenting websites? No. 123 movies? Yes.
Amazon? Yes, actually.
Yeah. Yes. $8. $8 for standard definition.
For 3 hours.
For 3 hours.
Which is, the movie is 3 hours and 1 minute, so you don't even get the full movie. No, that's not true.
Amazon Prime's never an option.
It's really not.
Fuck you, Bezos.
I'll fucking come for you. What would you rather spend $12
on? You know what? Related, if Rocko's Modern Life, probably like the first season or like maybe 2 seasons of it on iTunes. Mm-hmm. Remember buying shows on iTunes? Remember when that was the only way to watch Sheep in the Big City for like 5 years, for like a decade? There was no other distribution model for Sheep in the Big City but buying it on iTunes.
Weren't they making a podcast like in the like early podcast days, like some sort of video? Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know that, but iTunes was fucking
God.
Off the chain.
It's so weird how like I still have those episodes of Sheep in the Big City. I liked that show. That's like one of the few things I ever bought from iTunes.
Goddamn.
So that.
Yeah.
Rocko's Modern Life on iTunes.
Yeah, why not? Fuck it. Let's all go back to iTunes. Bring it back.
Or you know what? A Hulu subscription, because I think they also have Rocko's Modern Life, the whole show.
Oh God,
which is so weird that like I think Zim and Rocko's Modern Life, the series, are on Hulu.
God damn.
I don't understand this crazy mix 'em up world we live in.
This fucking crazy world.
I'm feeling like Rocko coming back from Earth after 20 years, and that was the other thing that I didn't get. Was Rocko actually obsessed with that show in the original series? Because I don't remember that.
I don't either. I think they were just making a general point about nostalgia or something like that. Like, they had...
Well, they could have written it a lot better.
Yeah, it's kind of about, I don't know, it's very ham-handed. It's just, like, all this dialogue of Rocko being like, why can't it be like the way it was before?
I don't like change. They added a baby. Girl Ghostbusters.
Yeah, really, for real.
I don't know what voice that was, because Rocko doesn't sound anything like what the fuck I was doing.
Rocko sounds like fucking Marge Simpson.
Sounds like late series Marge Simpson.
Yeah. But yeah, it's whatever. It's Rocko.
Whatever.
Who cares?
Next.
Invader
Am I still
Zim.
watching Netflix? You bet I am, because now it's time to enter the Florpus.
Enter the goddamn Florpus. So you are in the company of 2 people who have an encyclopedic knowledge of Invader Zim.
Is that a real Zim? Watching it and like telling my friends about like all the shit that was posted on Room with a Moose back in the fucking day. And them just being like, what? And it just being like, yeah, back then people would just leak storyboards and it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah. No one gave a shit.
Literally no one gave a shit back then.
And that, like, browsing Room with a Moose was like really crucial to like my artistic development and like figuring out like how concept sheets work and how storyboards really work, and like all of that leaked stuff was so fucking cool, and all the character designs and all the unused stuff.
Yeah, no, even like the writing elements of it, because like they also leaked like all the unused scripts and stuff, and a lot of the notes and stuff, and like the ideas about it. And here it's sort of this idea of like, hey, our audiences aren't responding to this character, like the infamous
Dib's a bitch.
The infamous I love New York, but I hate Dib. Dib's a bitch. Which is like about character design, but they also talk about like here's how to like write Dib better because like people don't like Dib. Dib is not a well written character. And I didn't agree with it, but I liked reading it. I liked I definitely learned a lot about writing. So Zim is definitely very influential on both of us.
Yeah.
And sadly, we must announce that Enter the Florpus is good.
It's very good.
I was so ready to not like it.
And I was ready for whatever. I was ready for anything. I was strapped in.
The thing is, it's not like I went in going like, yeah, I can't wait to hate this. I was just like, there's no way. Like, it's gonna be like them not understanding how that kind of humor has influenced comedy, and thus you can't just redo it.
Yeah.
And then they just redid it, but they avoided the worst tropes of it. And I was like, fuck, it's just like watching an old episode. And
yeah, exactly.
I hate that I like it.
There were a couple of jokes that were like ripped directly from the original series. Like there's a lot of the sort of repetition or like not being able to hear someone or something like that.
Oh yeah, which I actually thought was really funny because the original way that joke played out on the show was that they didn't animate the cars that were supposed to be there.
Yeah.
So the whole joke in the original one is this like weird meta animation joke of just like there's clearly supposed to be cars, but they're just standing across the street from each other
Just
now.
screaming for no reason. So we have both seen every episode of Invader Zim.
Yeah.
We've listened to all of the voice-acted scripts of the unreleased episodes.
I have definitely listened to the audio commentaries, but it's been a while, and I plan to revisit them very soon, actually, because I've been wanting to do that. Mm-hmm. Netflix or whoever has like these things, put fucking DVD commentaries on these. I want to listen to those.
Yeah,
commentaries. I'll just borrow someone's box set.
Yeah, there might be commentary. I don't know. I'll look into it.
I know the commentaries were definitely posted online, probably on Room with the Moose, because the box set was so limited print that like most people just didn't have access to them.
But I have access to all of it.
Yeah,
I have the fucking box set, bitch.
I'm gonna borrow it and listen to those commentaries again because it has been a minute.
Absolutely.
My favorite joke from the commentary still being the episode where they're just eating burritos the whole time.
Oh
so
my
like
God.
because they're like there's not a lot to say about this episode, so they're just eating food.
God damn.
What a fun little show. Anyway,
yeah.
If you watch it, here's how you know if you'll like this. Watch an episode of Invader Zim on YouTube.
Did you like that?
Did you like it?
Was that fun?
There you go. It's exactly that. They did a very, very faithful recreation of the show, but updated for 2019.
Yeah, and I was inclined to kind of balk at the animation style just because it's definitely digitally animated now. But I think that like Invader Zim is a show that kind of existed on the cusp of digital animation. Like it was the era of like Jimmy Neutron and a lot of other people figuring out how to do like computer 2D animation that doesn't necessarily suck, which was a very bumpy road. I remember it.
I am glad that they faithfully recreated the shitty CGI from the original Zim.
At the time, it was sick as fuck.
I know.
That was the best CGI in any show.
Which made it so much funnier that they recreated it like exactly like
just the cell shading.
This looks exactly like Battle of the Planets.
Yeah, I thought it looked great. And yeah, I was really touched by this movie because Invader Zim is really close to my heart. And a lot of Joan Vasquez's work is very close to my heart. And shout out to J.R. Goldberg because I think that her art direction really made a lot of the designs. I will say, like, to loop around and finish off my original point, Invader Zim was like, I think like traditional hand animated originally, whereas this new show is digital. And I think the style really lends itself to digital, and it works better in digital. As much as I wish they had animated it like a little bit more, if that makes any sense.
There's definitely, you can definitely tell it's digitally animated when the tallest are on screen.
Oh yeah, big time.
Because they have, their proportions do not translate to digital animation as well as the other characters do.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Mostly just because it makes them look like Rick and Morty characters.
Yeah.
But yeah, go on.
Yeah, but it looked all right. It disappointed me a little bit as far as just the fluidity of the animation, but I think that like the updated character designs, especially for like Gaz and Membrane, and like for the tallest, I think they all looked really good. So shout out to J.R. Goldberg and Joan Vasquez.
The Gaz redesign is really good. I'm pretty sure it's based partially on the comics too.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of this stuff happens in the comics. No, yeah, it really felt in the spirit of the original show. And the jokes really hit for me. I thought that the involvement of Minnie Moose was really good. The scene where Minnie Moose steals the sticker decal was really funny. Very classic scene.
No, that's so good. I really, as somebody who also loved Zim and grew up and like his humor definitely, God, I don't want to say humor's influenced by it because then you're gonna be like, yeah, of course he would. But it's like, I was like, fuck you. I was like 10 when this show was on the air.
Same.
I was a 10-year-old, 12-year-old. This show helped me. It was one of the shows that I basically learned joke construction and like what makes something funny and what doesn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the false message, the false lesson people take from it is, lol random, but you use the same 4 words.
Yeah.
And the real construction is like, no, it's about like subversion of expectations and, the way you construct things and the way you exaggerate things and where you exaggerate and what you have grounding the exaggerations.
Yeah.
The very intelligent writing dynamic of Dib and Gaz both being able to switch off between exaggerations and straight man. Like that was the dynamic that I always thought was like brilliant, was that like Dib and Gaz are basically both straight man and whatever the opposite of the straight man is.
Yeah.
Sukukomi? Is that the bit from the Lucky Star?
Bokeh, Tsukomi,
yeah.
Fucking Moe through helplessness.
Yeah, so Bokeh I think is the funny man and Tsukome is the straight man, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think so. Who fucking cares?
Yeah.
No, that's people.
Invader Zim is an anime.
It is an anime.
But yeah, no, it's really well written. I do love the evolution of people who definitely were Zader types, like when the show originally aired. Now just skipping all the bullshit, just wanting to fuck Professor Membrane.
I mean, yeah, fuck the bullshit. There is kind of like this weird scene where Zim is like drunk and like ranting at Dib that kind of feels like a couple's quarrel, but other than that, I think
was it Zader bait?
Was
Do you
it
think
Zader
that was
bait?
Zader bait?
Do you think it was? No, because Jonan hates. Jonan hates his fans. He has said in the commentary, which I think this is funny. Like he said in the commentary that he loves to torture Gur, and he loves any episode where Gur is not having fun or is like upset. And there's a lot of like jokes in this movie that are basically just like Gur does something or something happens to Gur to make Gur extremely upset, and that's the joke.
I love Jonan.
Yeah,
that's I think the thing that like that's a touch of his writing and his humor that I think is always missing from like fans who try to badly recreate it, is that like no, you also have to have a little bit of hostility.
Yeah,
like a little bit of hostility specifically towards your own audience.
Yeah, I mean it's deserved hostility. I would put down on the table as a Jonan Vasquez fan who sucks.
Yeah, no, same. Yeah, as Anne Gwish from the Johnny the Homicidal Maniac comics.
Yes. I reread some of those recently.
How do they hold up?
I'm kin with her.
Anguish?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah, she's good.
I was more of a Debbie girl growing up.
Yeah, I kind of feel that. Wrapping up my general reaction.
Oh, yeah.
Like, my familiarity with Invader Zim is such that, like, I had kind of heard whisperings of projects similar to this where they were like, yeah, we wanted to make a movie where, like, Dib... There's like a bunch of space travel and Dib like fixes Tak's ship. So the really sweet thing about this movie is that it kind of hits those notes and it like closes those loops of like, cool, something actually like happens and it's exciting and it's like, it feels like an epic.
Yeah, because that was the original scripts too. It was like the show was originally going to go off Earth a lot.
Yeah, they were going to develop it a lot more. There was going to be a lot more stuff with Tak's ship because there were a bunch of unaired finished episodes like Dib Ship Rising, which is about like Dib trying to take control of Tak's ship by replacing her
I forgot
AI
about that.
with his AI, but he's too stupid.
And the ship tries to go to school as Dib.
Yeah.
And just expanding on the continuing joke of people not knowing what people look like.
Really, really good. But yeah, it really put a smile on my face. I really thought it was great. There were some things that I didn't really love about it. I didn't like some of Gaz's characterization. But I am also kind of wondering if it's... I don't know. Like
I feel like a part of it is that like you can't write a Gaz character. Like the thing is, Gaz's character type is so overdone now that I think they had to diversify her like character type up a little.
She's kind of the same joke over and over again, and I see that. So I don't know. I just don't know if they stuck the landing on it quite so much. But then again, I'm gonna be a purist because I have the fucking box set and I have like this weird.
You're Rocko screaming that there was no baby in the original.
Yeah. I kind of want to get a tattoo I've talked about this with friends, but I haven't talked about this in public. But I want to get a tattoo that's like around my arm or like my upper arm or something like that. That's like a zoetrope. Like it's every frame of animation in the Gur dancing gif going around the circumference of my arm.
That's brilliant. That is so fucking funny. That is some like barista with a like. No, that's just barista shit. Yeah, no, you should
to go with
do
my
it.
other stupid ass tattoos, which I love.
I love I've got fucking Hypno-Eyes Goofy on my ankle.
You do. It's a great tattoo.
Yeah. I don't know. Put a photo on screen.
Yeah. Enter the Florpus, really touching. I loved all the goofy like animation bits. All of the stuff where they changed like the format.
Yeah, I remember being really sad hearing that Jonan was like genuinely upset that Netflix fucked up and like used clips from things that he wanted to be a secret. Like he wanted the opening to actually fake people out.
Yeah,
he wanted people to actually think when that happened that when the episode starts that was how the show was gonna look.
Yeah, which is kind of similar. He does like a same joke in Filler Bunny 3, which is not great.
Yeah.
But to see that kind of extrapolated into like a full motion thing is like really cool. And I think that would have been a great joke.
Yeah, no, it's a real shame that Netflix ruined it by like showing it and then showing animation from the rest of the episode and thus making it obvious that scene is a joke.
Yeah.
Because like it plays out very effectively. Like it plays out very much like, oh, this is what Netflix is doing with the show is they made it look like this.
Yeah. God. Yeah, it's very funny.
I'm sad they didn't bring back Invader Scooge.
Yeah, there were some characters who returned.
Who cameo.
Yeah. Does Keith show up anywhere?
I think Keith is in one scene. I almost fucked up and thought he was the one in the sticker scene with Minnie Moose, but that's I forget that character's name. That's the one where like
my tongue.
I should know this because it's not the other M. Which is one of my favorite character names on that whole show.
The letter M.
Yeah, the letter M.
So fucking funny.
God, because he's the one where they have the joke where when Brian, the kid with glasses, gets sent to the underground classrooms because Miss Bitters just doesn't like the way he looks. He runs in with his hands above his head. Is it like Poochie?
It's something like that.
I think it like actually is like just Poochie. Because all the characters all the background characters in this name have like the stupidest joke names, which
Melvin, Moofy.
We're doing live research to find out.
Yeah, I'll probably.
Oh, does Nick have a cameo in it?
Oh God, hopefully. God, I love Nick.
Nick, for those who don't remember, there's a character.
I'm so happy.
There's a character that because Jonan had a famously tenacious relationship with Nickelodeon Studios. So there's a joke where Zim has a kid that he's kidnapped and he's doing an experiment on who has a giant probe in his head that makes him happy all the time.
Yeah.
So he just has this huge smile and he's just always going, I'm so happy all the time. And
everything's great.
And his shirt is basically the Nickelodeon logo without the text in it. And the character's name is Nick.
Did you hate when the Nickelodeon I'm so trained from being an angry teenager, but when the Nickelodeon title came up on the screen during the intro for the movie, did you also go fuck you?
Yeah, no, I literally I actually screamed and our friends can testify this. I actually screamed, you didn't have shit to do with this.
You fucked this up. Oh, was Gretchen in the movie?
Yes, I know Gretchen was. She was one of the kids holding hands above the volcano. Or either that or one of the kids holding hands with the like cat that gets arrested, which was a really funny joke.
That was a really good joke.
I'm also surprised they didn't sneak any sort of. I guess I kind of appreciate that they didn't try to sneak in a bloody Gur joke. I like that there was not a lot of fan service in this, which is not something I could say about the Rocko one.
Yeah.
The Rocko, which was weird because I did not remember enough about Rocko, but I just kept seeing things. I'm like, oh, that's supposed to be like a character I'm supposed to recognize.
Right, yeah.
But this is just like, this kind of felt like the most horrible Xmas special ever episode where it's like, no, we just made another episode.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, that was actually one of my favorite episodes.
The Christmas episode?
Yeah, it's so good. It's such a perfectly like written episode. I rewatched it a while back and there's still jokes that like make me fucking laugh.
The thing that's like the most J humor bit of the Christmas episode is whenever the snowman, like telling the story, grabs a kid by the head and stuffs them under the bed.
No, that joke formative for my humor, because that is like one of my
as I was saying
that is like just a kid just criticizing it and him just shoving him under the bed and the kid being like perfectly sized to slot under the bed.
The physical aspects completely elude me. Oh god, I hate how much Zim shit I can quote. Don't fucking get me started. Yeah, I loved Minnie Moose being plot relevant because I had to explain to people who Minnie Moose was. Which is really funny.
It's so good. Because Minnie Moose was introduced in the Christmas special too, right?
Yeah, I think so. Because
they were gonna
been here the whole time.
Because they were gonna introduce him in the show as a joke about characters that are introduced late into a series.
Yeah.
And then they were like, well, we already wrote him into this episode, so we're just gonna say, yeah, he's been here the whole time.
Yeah. So good. Yeah, God. And
Depressed Zim was good.
That was so great.
I loved Depressed Zim.
Kevin Manthe was also completely on point with the same exact fucking VSTs that he was using in the original show. The music sounded the same. So good on you. Yeah, I don't know. I have a lot of good things to say about it, and like some kind of iffy things that I like.
What did you think of the Professor Membrane arc with like Dib's daddy issues?
I don't know, because Zim has always been a show that kind of runs away from like
sincerity.
So to see like a sincere moment or like an attempt at a sincere moment was really jarring to me, and it was really like a thing of just like, yeah, I guess everybody has to grow up. Every show has to grow up. Because like in a sense, like I kind of feel like Zim was symptomatic of or in support of some weird, like, complex that I happen to have of just, like, fuck sincerity. Irony is the way to go.
I feel like when Zim came out was perfect for that, and partially I think this is why the show didn't do well, or rather, like, the show ended up going underground but had such a huge, fan base, is because it came out right before 9/11.
Yeah.
And then 9/11 happened, and Zim was one of the few things out there that was just cynical.
Yeah.
And like, people now are like, cynicism is bad. But the thing is, immediately post 9/11 America, no.
Yeah.
Way too much sincerity. Zim did a really good job of like, just being like, no, fuck sincerity. Fuck emotions.
Yeah.
And I feel like the way it handled it though in the show, it didn't feel too hokey.
Yeah.
I liked it because it still kind of was playful. It still kind of was like tongue in cheek, and I like that. There's also sort of it's a bitter sincerity because it's still just like remembering being like, what? Yeah, of course I'm proud of you, but like him.
But I also don't believe you.
Yeah, but I don't believe you, and him not getting it, and so the joke is still like Dib is trying so desperately hard to get his dad to believe him because he thinks that's the only way his dad will like him, and his dad just being like, shut up. What? You're my kid. Of course I like you, dumbass.
It was just weird. It was just totally strange. But I don't know. I don't think it helped to make it like a more enjoyable, a more or really less enjoyable film. It was just kind of like a tonally awkward thing to experience.
All shows gotta grow up. Hey, we're living in a post 9/11 world.
Yeah, we're living. We really are. A post Steven Universe world.
A post Trump. Post Trump.
Don't say
world. It. We need to. I want there to be more Zim stuff on the air. I think there's. I guess kind of to an extent. No, because OKKO is very sincere, but OKKO feels very much so like of that sort of lineage because its sincerity is earned, but it also is very, very mocking of sincerity.
Absolutely. I think OKKO has like a really, really, really strong voice of like what it wants to like poke fun at.
The episode about gun control is both an episode very much so about like actually gun control, like very much so explicitly gun control propaganda.
Yeah.
But also like self-mocking of the idea of a cartoon being gun control propaganda.
Yeah, for
and
real.
like just like but like and mocking the idea of like that we can do anything about gun control.
Yeah. Yeah.
The fucking Captain Planet episode just ending with like, actually, okay, KO, like there's nothing you can do about global warming because it's actually corporations' fault. This was something that could have been stopped in the 90s. And basically you just need to get the 100 richest people to agree to change things and they won't. And then the episode just ends. And then it's just like, and here's how you recycle.
God. Yeah. I feel that Invader Zim has left us all in a better place, and cartoons especially. Like it or not, assholes, Invader Zim is good, actually.
It's actually good. I know on Letterboxd I gave it a 3.5, I think, but that was because it was something where I was like, I can't say this is good because it is entirely of, do you like Invader Zim still?
Yeah, still.
Would you still watch Invader Zim? Yes, this is good. No, you're not going to like this.
Yeah, 100%. And that's, yeah, absolutely. For real heads only.
This one's for the fans. And you know what? God bless though all the new fans. Me and my roommates were talking about this. It's so cool seeing like fan base basically be exactly the same but like a different online language.
Yeah.
Just people drawing jokes about like Zim making Gerd write a call out post.
Fucking hell. We love the fan artists.
It's such a perfect show for shit posting. I'm glad that like the modern shit posting teens have this show now.
It touches my heart, the generational sort of handoff.
But
I hope
Invader Zim is eternal.
Yeah, it's eternal. I hope teens get obsessed with it all over again, forever and ever.
Did you know that there's last I checked, this is like 2-3 years ago, so it's probably still running. There was a ZimCon, like a convention.
Yes, I knew about
that is
this.
still running.
Oh, maybe we should
Or
go.
at the very least, as of like 2 or 3 years ago when I last checked,
I don't know if it's
still
still
running.
going or not, but
Maybe it might come back.
maybe
it was still something where it's like, oh, this has been running like a decade and a half after the show has stopped running.
That was kind of when my simmering anger, because we had talked about being angry at Nickelodeon, and in my teen years, I had a vendetta against SpongeBob because I thought that SpongeBob being more popular knocked Zim off the air.
Yeah,
because that's how a child thinks.
Yeah, that's how you think TV works when you're. That's how you think TV works when you're 14 or a Democrat.
Yeah, which are kind of similar concepts.
Yeah.
But yeah, and kind of consequently, like I had like a long simmering anger about it, and just like, oh, I took my favorite show off the air. Fuck you. And then as soon as I saw there was like an entire fucking convention devoted to this canceled 2-season television show, I was like, okay, well, someone's gonna do something. Like
eventually,
shit's eventually gonna start popping off. And then the Oni Press comics started picking up steam, and you know, so maybe more.
I really do feel like Netflix is, because they released these both within this month.
Yeah.
And I feel like Netflix is definitely trying to test the waters about possibly bringing shows back and seeing if there's like a marketplace for it.
Well, they did that for Full House, which is...
Sorry, bringing back shows people actually want to watch.
Yeah, so they're...
Because I think they learned their lesson of Full House,
Yeah.
which is that people watch that because it was on, dude. Not because it was fucking good.
And I, for what it's worth, I think She-Ra's doing pretty good. I haven't.
Oh, I
seen
forgot
any
that
of it,
She-Ra
but-
came. Well, wait, was She-Ra?
It's a Netflix.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, was She-Ra an original? Like, is it a bringing back? Because I
Pretty
thought She-Ra
sure.
was a character in a different cartoon. Was
Well,
the idea.
yeah, She-Ra was a character in He-Man.
People
I
like
said.
it.
Like,
I
people
haven't
like
seen
it. I haven't
yeah.
seen any of it, but you know.
It's no Turbo, the animated series.
Yes. Yeah. So basically, flushed it down the toilet.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Enjoy Zim. Enjoy
Zim.
Enjoy happiness of Zim.
And
everybody.
if they decide that they're gonna give Zim a TV show,
Fuck it.
fuck it.
I guess I would rather see something new, especially from the combined minds of Vasquez and Goldberg.
Actually, yeah, it'd be pretty interesting to see them, or even like if they just did like a Squee cartoon show.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I don't think they would want to do that.
Yeah,
because that's long in the past. But I don't know. Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah,
Then you would have to make Johnny the Homicidal Maniac in full motion, which I don't think.
Oh, that would look weird.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants that.
He'd be voiced by Rick Sanchez.
Oh God.
Squee! We gotta get Nail Bunny and Mud.
I can't. I really can't envision that. Breen Burns also does a couple voices. Breen Burns also had a major hand in the production of this Invader Zim movie. Do you want to know who Breen Burns is?
Yeah.
Dr. Tran.
Oh, that makes perfect sense,
Yeah.
actually. That makes fucking exactly perfect sense.
Yeah, Breen Burns worked on Dr. Tran. So, and also worked on the Invader Zim film. So,
Good film.
glow up, I guess. Glow sideways. Glow up, I would say.
I'd say, yeah. I feel like that's like, if you made Dr. Tran, working on Invader Zim kind of feels like your dream job.
Yeah, absolutely. And Dr. Tran is Dr. Tran. Don't look it up. I mean, maybe look it up.
Has it aged well? I very remember very little of it.
Probably not.
I'm gonna say no. It's probably something really bad. Don't look it up.
Yeah, but do look up Invader Zim. Enter the
Florpus on your latest Netflix or torrenting client.
What would you rather
have spent my subscription money on?
Yeah.
So a while back, I found a squeaky toy of the I Feel Sick thing.
Yeah.
So if that was $12, I would have spent $12 on that.
I used to have that.
Yeah, I found it. I gave it to Meeks actually because he really wanted it because he
God.
also had one and so did I. And I was like, well, we live in the same house, so I guess you can just have it.
Yeah, I for $12, I wish I could have back my Invader Zim diorama toy thingies, which they put out. Which I had like the tallest, and then I had like.
I think I also had a filler bunny around here somewhere. I don't know if I might have given that to someone else as well.
God, remember going to Hot Topic and fucking
last week?
Well, I mean, like as a teen.
Oh yeah. I remember going to Hot Topic and them just having Invader Zim merch for 2 decades.
I remember seeing like some sort of the first time I saw some stupid like internet series like Foamy or some bullshit like advertised at Hot Topic. I was like, whoa, the internet's real.
Oh god, it's going to Hot Topic now is so surreal because there used to be at least a vague aesthetic that they assorted their pop culture licenses around, and now it's just literally whatever's out.
They have such a different personality now. You've changed, Hot Topic.
It's just a clearinghouse of like, what do teens watch? Not the same teens, different, like any teen.
I learned capitalism was bullshit because I was a goth and I hated Abercrombie and Fitch. But then someone told me that Abercrombie and Fitch was owned by the same company that owns Hot Topic. Whoa!
I think my my anti-capitalist awakening was Invader Zim being canceled.
Yeah,
and then also listening to the leaked audio of the last episode of Angry Beavers that they weren't allowed to make.
Oh shit!
Where Richard Horvitz and the one who voices Daggett, or the one who voices Norbert, are basically explaining that their show has been canceled and slowly like the universe around them sort of dissolving, and them explaining how the show is being canceled in part because Nickelodeon can save money by just running the show as reruns and forever and making money off of it, and then not paying the staff to make new episodes and paying them nothing in royalties.
Beautiful.
Literally, and which is why they were not allowed to make that episode.
That's great.
But they did record it, and Richard Horvitz leaked it on some interview.
Fucking hero.
Yeah, no, it's really good, and it's worth going out there and listening because it's very, very interesting, and it's a very good insight into just how openly it was known that like Nickelodeon would just fuck over their creators for money.
Absolutely.
And I assume probably still do, but
yeah.
In fact, let's just say it: animation probably still is based on exploiting the most passionate people alive.
Yeah, absolutely. And the big industry, big scary industry with a lot of big scary things that happen a lot. And a lot of
and sometimes, despite all that, we get an OKKO.
Yeah.
Or Gravity. I like Gravity Falls.
Yeah.
People's mileage varies on that one.
All right.
Or maybe DuckTales. I haven't watched the new DuckTales.
Maybe it's good. Yeah. Oh, the new fucking Looney Tunes supposed to be good. The new Pokemon kind of rips.
I saw some of the animation. It's wild.
I can't pay attention to it because it's Pokemon, but it looks beautiful.
I started watching bits of Mau Mau. And it's pretty good. I think it's from what I know, it's getting better too as it goes on. And I believe it is because it's basically a lot of like it's kind of like how OKKO has a lot of staff that it kind of build off of Steven Universe. I think Mau Mau is doing the same thing with OKKO.
Oh, good.
But it's a fun little show.
All right, cool. Watch cartoons, everybody.
Yeah, you know what? I as an anti-cartoon propagandist, every cartoon that I just mentioned is great.
Yes.
Turbo the Animated Series, bring it back.
Bring it back. Bring it back. That's the final
I don't know why I'm so obsessed with like that as a joke. It's just it was such a weird series that for some reason I watched every episode of.
Why?
I was depressed and lived in Connecticut.
Oh, that's fair. That's real.
But yeah.
Yeah. We enjoyed.
We stan?
We stand?
Do we dare?
Do we dare
Do we
stand
dare
Invader
stand
Zim?
Invader Zim? But I think that wraps it up.
Yeah, I think so.
I hope you all enjoy some of the few times we will ever fucking talk about cartoons on this channel.
Yeah, because...
And that includes superhero movies.
Fuck you, superhero movies.
Fuck you, superhero movies.
Roasted. Bitch. Keep an eye out. We're gonna do more stuff.
Yeah, we got more in the can.
Yeah, check out our Patreon. We have a poll going up for our next film.
It's already up.
It's already up.
It's about
go vote.
Yeah, go vote for it. And we will see you on the flip side.
See you on the
Florp side.
Because it's Invader Zim.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Bye.
Bye.